だ線路そのがかすかに埋めている大抵の人には見えもしないけれどすれないをこぼしても変わるのは僕だけ明日は飛び出すほどものがここに溢れているまた吐いてまた吐いて僕に出す風の光がまた僕がこの孤独の一本僕でも何度もやこうか僕があると分かっているけどのびとも願いかけてる進んだ線路そのがほのかに埋めている自分の後からは変化を見せたまっすぐのがしが輝きをまくだしまっすぐまたがほどものがここに溢れているまた吐いてまた吐いて届ける光の光はまた僕へ少しずつ一歩何も選んも選んだ僕が叶う僕も分かっているなら急がずに願いを待とうまた吐いてまた吐いてただつかけをめた光は深い暗黒を次々に切り開き高くな天井が旅を受けやったんだいつ分かっているから何も考えないもう見てって言われたってたってたってなんだってねだってそれでもまだ僕はまた吐いて
月曜の朝いつもと違う髪型に気がつくかな
Oh no. It's time to start the stream. Hello everybody. Welcome and good morning. I mean, it's actually the opposite the way that you should go. You should go like, good morning and welcome to the stream. Because it feels more natural to say good morning and then say welcome. But anyway, hello there everybody. My name is Douglas. And today we're going to be doing some more artwork. You guessed it. Today's the day for more illustration. How are you all doing? You lovely pepperinos and pepperettes. And also, hello, hello Zach and Slick Husky. And thank you so very much, Slick Husky, for that host. To help new friends find out about the stream. Hopefully. Ooh, Zach, it's evening on your end. Kaze, you said illustration and then games and then chit chat. Maybe. It's gonna be a very eventful day today. By the way, those of you who are into the Discord surprise, surprise, you can now enter the stream chat, voice chat room if you're one of those lovely Twitch subwoofers, patrons, or a moderator. You can join in the voice chat and then you can partake in the conversation. I'm gonna have to do some crazy level sound adjustment here. Make sure the music is not too loud. That not everything is too loud. And then, you know, sound mixing is a tough job to do right. But hopefully everything will work out. And also, hello Bones! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? How was your guitar session last night? Kaze, how are you doing as well? Same to you, Zach and Slick Husky. How are you guys doing? What day is it? Friday morning. And yeah, for no apparent reason, I decided to go and draw Toad. Use this kind of, I don't even know what sort of clothing these are that they use. Anyway, it's Toad and he's going, oh no. Bones said, oh Doug, slides are hard. But you can do runs in 2 days. What do you mean runs? Because you know, you're throwing that guitar lingo at me and I have no idea what it means. Anyway, let's get on with the comics. Page 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm speaking like the Brits. Page number 9. Oh, lovely. Or not so lovely as at all. The playlist got bamboozled. Anyway, I just opened this up, page number 9, to show you guys how it's looking. I finished it yesterday. What I did here was throwing colors, as usual. I threw in shadings, I threw in all those lovely things. And now everything's looking fine. Good, except here it doesn't look like Nathan's scratching his face. It looks like, I don't know, something else entirely. Zach, hands, fingers, and arm are constantly splattered by hot oil. Oh no. I hope that accidentally, not like purposefully or anything. But look on the bright side. Soon you will be doing them crepes. Crepes, I mean CREEPES, crepes. Or what do they call those other things? What was that thing called again? Croissant. You are gonna be doing some croissants in very, very, very soon, I hope. And bones. Lol, that's what they call it in Rocksmith. Changing the notes along the neck smoothly or whatever. So they mean kinda fretting multiple notes. I don't know either. You guys should not be surprised by the fact that I'm not actually a guitar player. I'm just a dog. Dogs don't play guitar. They don't know how to do such advanced things. Anyway, here I did line art, the color, just didn't do the shading, and it's pretty much done. I have to do everything else now. Bonzo, say hashtag guitar words. And Slick Husky, you're doing good. Oh, that's nice to know. Good to know you're having a nice Friday morning so far. Also, I set the music a little bit lower today in case somebody joins in the voice chat on Discord. So you guys can hear everything that's going on without having to... what's the word? Strain yourselves too much. Because, like I was saying yesterday, I have been using some earphones, those that go very into your ear, and that's cool and all. The problem was that I've been using that like for the entire duration I'm at my computer, which is pretty much almost the entire day, and my ear was starting to hurt a little bit from using those earphones. So I've changed into another headphone, and the volume is a little bit lower on this one. It's kind of hard to hear. So I will mess up a little bit with the sound mixing, alongside other things. So please bear with me. Or don't, I mean, you guys can always rage as well, burn everything, but that would not be nice. So instead of burning things, let's just try and get things fixed. And Kazi, it seems like the good boy bot is not responding. A little piece of crap. Why wouldn't he respond? Bot client disconnected due to an unstable connection. Disconnected plus 5 plus time in a time span of less than 5 minutes. Suggestion: check your router, firewall, antivirus, make sure nothing is blocking the bot. So I have to try and reconnect the bot. I don't know how to do that.
Teleport's behind you.
Oh no! Hello there, Kazi boy, is that you?
Yes, it is me.
Oh my.
It is I.
Well, welcome to the Discord voice chat, Kazi. Let me increase your volume a little bit. Oh no, your volume is already at 200. I can't increase your volume any further.
Let me fix that.
Because I can barely hear you. And the good boy bot is connected to the stream. He wasn't on the stream before. He was playing music, but he wasn't on the stream. So now he is. So now the song request should work. So
right. How's my voice now?
More or less the same. Maybe I have to reduce the music's volume a little bit further.
You can do like the volume mixer.
No, yeah, I did it on the good boy bot program. I changed it there. But anyway, hello Kazi, how you doing?
I'm perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
Yes.
So does that mean there's nothing wrong with you? Nothing at all?
So far, yeah.
So you're perfectly 100% happy with your entire situation?
Yes.
So there's nothing ever that you would want to change right now?
Now that you mention it, maybe yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not that good now, are you? There are things that you could fix or change in your life, like maybe, I don't know, get rich or something.
Yeah, exactly like that. Because, as you know, I'm in the UK right now, and there's a meet next Friday. That is, it's gonna be a boat party.
It's gonna be what?
A boat party. Like a furry meets boat party.
I don't know what that word is. Bullet party, you said?
No, it's a boat party.
A boat?
Yeah.
Huh. Well then.
And yeah, it's in London, so...
Oh yeah, they have rivers, they have oceans, they have all sorts of aquatic diversions for people there.
Yeah. And I'm in Colchester, so for me to go there, I have to spend £30, £30
Oh
on
no.
train. And the ticket to go to the pool party is 30. Another 30, that's 60.
So you're quickly, fastly, and steadily burning through your money. So you're steadily burning through your money very fast over there.
What's worse, I don't mind paying that to go to the party because it's gonna be fun, but the problem is there's another meet on Saturday that is much bigger.
Wow, those British furries they really know how to party, apparently.
Yeah. And it's in London, so I have to like find some place to stay. And the hotels are so expensive.
Well, you can always stay kind of in the streets.
I could do that. I could like crash in someone's sofa. But the problem is, I don't know.
Oh yeah. There's this musician group, rather person, Amanda Palmer. She did a TED talk about like asking people for help and how it's not shameful and something you should do. In fact, and she went on to tell stories. One such story was of her going to this place she never had been before, or I mean she had been before, but she was going there for a show or whatever, and she was kind of okay. I don't have money. I'm gonna perform, but what am I gonna do with myself? Then she asked on Twitter like, "Hey, could somebody host me for like a day? Can I crash on somebody's couch for the night?" And a lot of people on Twitter answered and said, "Hey, you can crash onto my house and whatever." And then she said, "Okay, I'm gonna go to your place." And she was at their place. She knocked on the door and she was like, "Whoa, wait, this is how people get murdered and stuff." And but then she got the people there hosted her. They were super nice. They shared stories and whatnot. So she was telling stories like there's this couple, like an architect guy and a graphic designer women. They had a good financial situation, so they hosted her in their couch with they had wine and cheeses for the night, and it was super fancy and stuff. But then some other time she crashed on the couch of like a college student girl who had very little money. Their family was very poor, and they had very little food for themselves, but they still hosted her and shared whatever little they had with her. And she was like, "Well, they have so little and they're yet giving so much to me. Is this fair to take this from people?" And then she went to say, "Yes, it is fair. I asked for help. They didn't have to help, but they want to help." Because then she stayed with the family and whatnot. She got to talk to them a little bit, and after a while, the mother of the college student girl came to her and said, "Well, I'm glad you're here. You've been a huge influence on my daughter. Your music helps her so much because they were like kind of illegal immigrants, so she was probably feeling kind of out of place and stuff, and her music helped the little girl, and well, not little, but helped the girl nonetheless. And it was fair because it was not simply I'm showing up for nothing. It was like they did something, but it wasn't such as tangible as like literally offering your couch for someone to crash in. In short, what I mean to say is that...
Sacrifice.
What?
Such a good sacrifice.
Oh yeah. And in short, what I mean to say is that yeah, do ask around for people. If they are willing to help you, then hooray. There's good stuff they can learn from you and you can learn from them, so it's gonna be worthwhile, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it won't hurt to try.
But also, Zach, you said that you had to dump them chicken wings into a bin of hot oil. Is there no better way of doing that? Like, other than literally dumping it? I feel like there's those kind of grilling cages you kind of fill up with things and then you lower gently and slowly into the frying bucket full of oil and whatnot. I think there is a better way. Slick Husky said, yeah, yep, it's morning. And that's good. It means you're more or less in this part of the world. And Zach asks, who can join the voice chat? Well, if you're a patron and you have your Patreon account linked with the Discord, you automatically get the Patreon role and then you can join the voice chat. If you're a moderator or a Twitch subwoofer as well, if you're a Twitch subwoofer, a moderator, or a patron, you can join the voice chat and we can talk. Or more or less I can talk and you guys can listen to me. But yeah, I'm still figuring out some kinks about this. I used to do this a long time ago, but I stopped doing that because things were getting out of control really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, not getting out of control like badly, but it was like suddenly there were 8-10 people here in the chat, and I couldn't tell who was who were talking, who wasn't talking, and then background noises were happening. It was kind of hard to get that to work. But anyway, Sam, you also said, greetings Mr. Douglas and everyone, how are you all? You're stable for now, so you're feeling fine and having a good day. What is the lovely guest in the voice chat? It's Kaze boy, he's in England, or somewhere in the Great Britain. And he's... You were?
I'm an English young lad.
I have no idea what you just said.
I'm trying to do an accent, but I can't.
Yeah, your volume is still a little bit low. I mean, maybe I can increase the volume of my computer. That also works. But yeah, Kaze, he's on somewhere in Great Britain, and he's talking to us through his chatting devices. And Donald Duck.
Electronic.
Oh yeah, your electronic chatting device. Your mobile. Do the British have a different word for phones? I feel like they do.
No, not that I know. No.
I don't remember who, but I do remember there's somebody who has a different word, an English word, for like mobile phones. I don't know. But anyway, Donald Duck, you said you don't have permission to talk, it seems, which is no problem. Oh yeah, currently I'm limiting the voice chat for the patrons, the Twitch subwoofers, and the moderators. Also, yesterday I posted a little thing on Patreon about that, and I noticed that there are some people who are patrons, but they haven't attached or connected their their Patreon account to their Discord account. So they are on the Discord, but they don't have the patron status because you have to connect your accounts, and it's kind of Patreon. I looked it up, and they don't have a very extensive help article on how to do that. So it's kind of well, good luck finding that option. It's there, but we won't tell you where. So good luck finding it.
Well, for me, because my web browser Discord is connected to the browser, so whenever I want to try like join a server, it makes my browser account joins first, and then I can like take the link from there and just post it in my app Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another account in this server, in your server, that has a Patreon called Kamikaze. That's my browser account that I want to delete, but I can't. And it has that role.
I noticed that you were suddenly okay. Now I'm a patron boy, and then suddenly another Kaze entered the Discord and was like, that's something I have to keep in mind. Maybe there's people who have like 3 Discord accounts, and it's gonna be very confusing.
Yeah.
And also, Donald, you said that you can't have permission to talk. Which should, yeah, if you're not a patron or a Twitch subwoofer, you don't have permission to talk, but you can join the voice chat to listen. So I feel like the sound quality on Discord is better because it has some... I don't know what it has. It has some sort of black magic that makes hearing better. Actually, I do know what it is. They have audio plugin. I don't remember the name. I think it's Vorbiz or something. But it's a plugin for voice improvements. It kind of cancels background noises and makes sounds super delicious and sexy. Problem is, you can't get that plugin for nothing. It's like a proprietary thing, so you have to pay to use it. And that sucks. Discord is paying for literally every user to be able to use it. But I can't get the thing like by itself and add it as a plugin on OBS. So the sound on OBS is kind of dependent on me knowing how to fiddle with settings, whereas Discord simply has the thing enabled by default, which improves sound quality. So I feel like if people want to join in on the Discord just to listen, because the quality is better to listen over there, then sure, you can always go in, but you will not be able to talk. That's the only thing that's going on in there. And Samuel asked if you may join the chat for listening. Yes, you can. Feel free to. That's what I was saying. If you want to join the voice chat for listening, the delay is smaller, and since there's no music playing, listening to people will be easier. Besides, you can control the volumes on your own over there, so if you just want to listen to the voice chat, the Discord is the best option there.
So, speaking of... Well, not really speaking of, but... How is Geronimo's sister?
Apparently everything's alright. I mean, not alright, but it's much better. I mean, not better, per se, but things are not as bad as it seemed to be. They went to the hospital yesterday, and yeah, his sister is doing okay. She's gonna she had to stay in the hospital for surgeries, but other than that, she's doing fine apparently.
That's good to hear.
And yeah, apparently, well, despite, you know, the broken leg and arm, it was more of a scare than an actual, I mean, a big bad accident.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Oh yeah, it could have been extremely worse. But fortunately it wasn't. But yeah, we still have more to hear from it, so yeah, there's still more to hear from it, so we'll see how it goes.
About Wallace, how old is he now?
About who?
Wallace.
How
many years is that? Like the time skip of the flashback.
You see, I never... That's the thing I never truly defined, if you stop and think about it. I never truly went out and say, hey, Nathan is this old. So, nobody knows exactly how old is Nathan. So, we're all assuming ages. So... I never defined an age. Precisely that, so I wouldn't have to bother with that. Because when I did the Golden Week, at first, like, the original story was like, Scott is actually 17 years old and whatnot, because he's in school. That's the age you are when you're in school. But then I realized, oh no, that's underage. We can't have that going on. Not in a published shenanigans and one whatever. So I changed that. I decided, oh no, Scott for he's 18 now. And that's when I decided. That's when I noticed that ages can be tricky to manage and whatnot. I mean, it's not the end of the world to go out and say, this character is this or that many years old. But in here, I feel like it doesn't really matters.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're adults, but they're very young, so they're still figuring out life. But that's it. Depending on who it is, there are people who have their lives figured out by the time they're 20, and there are people who are in their late 40s and still haven't. So it doesn't really matter their age. But it's something like 20, 23, 25-ish. One thing I thought about was like Wallace being slightly older than Nathan, like a year or two older. But that's about it. Other than that, I never really defined anything else. So yeah,
Really, that does have some speed.
feel free to imagine he's as old as you want him to be. Also, what did you just say? I kind of cut you off there for a moment.
What's the color of his beard?
The color of his beard?
Yes. Is it white?
No, it's not white. I don't remember the color. I think it's a grayish brown. I had this reference picture of him. I don't think I can open it because it's kind of lewd. But I decided some colors for that, and I think I might go and change the color of the beard or whatever. The only colors I had defined more or less was his main fur skin color, and that's about it. That and the color of his eyes, which is like a reddish color. But everything else I haven't defined, so that is still up to debate. Because this page here, the first one to feature Wallace, is only going up like next week. So that will be on the 27th. So we still have some time to deliberate on that. But also, I forgot to ask, Donald Duck, welcome to the stream, and how are you doing today? Sorry, I forgot to welcome you into the party. But yeah, maybe I will go with your suggestion of a white-ish beard. I don't know.
Or like a pinkish beard. Like white with a bit of pink, since his eyes are red.
Pink? I don't know about that. I mean, it could work awesomely well. But
Not like fully pink, just like a bit of spark. Like,
well,
you
more
can see that.
more of a tint, you mean? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to open another separate drawing of Wallace and try out some colors, because in this page here, since it's gonna be like the middle of the day, like afternoon time with very sunny and stuff, the whole lighting of this scene is gonna make it, no matter what color it is, it's gonna make it look more yellowish. But in some other pages, when it's gonna be nighttime, his beard will have a more bluish feel to it. So I have to see how whatever color it is, how it works with the yellowish shading and the bluish shading, to make sure, like, if I decide to go for this color, and then that when I use like blue shading, it's not gonna look like something entirely different, or the effect is gonna be entirely lost or anything.
Yeah, speaking of that, I gotta like try out some the trick of like the blue overlay thing.
Oh yeah,
I think- yeah.
do try that out. I did try that out yesterday for shading the previous page, but it kind of worked different. It didn't work very well for these pages because I'm doing so many panels at once. Out, and I wasn't feeling like, you know what, I have all the time in the world to experiment, so I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go with what I already know.
Right.
Because this whole overlay method, it's good, but it's not fast. It's very versatile, but the good thing about Multiply is that precisely because it's easy and fast to do, that we end up using it. It's not the best one, it's not as versatile as the overlay, but it's easy and easy to figure out and very fast to do. That's why I end up using the Multiply, even though it's not the best one. Like in terms of quality, it's the best one in terms of productivity.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of which, Kaze, you never really explained what is your story.
I did it?
Did you?
Alright, in case, anyway, I'm just gonna say it. It's basically the story of, like, helping people, like, move on. It's just a way of how I learned to move on. Just amplifying that to anyone who is struggling with these things, you know? The kind of Life is Strange, the story inspired me, like especially of Chloe's story. How it was like the main point is to help others see the struggles of people, you know.
So it's more of a kind of a, what's it called? A slightly, dramatic is kind of slightly over the top, comical way of showing this serious situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. That I feel like that works best because, I mean, it's kind of hard to pull off sometimes, but when you don't go for very literal things, when you try to put a little kind of some makeup, if you will, over a story, you don't go out saying, it's actually about Obama being president. It's like, no, it's the story of this little girl, you know, who was helping her family in their family farm, but deep down it's truly about Obama, but you don't go out saying that. It's more like it's up to interpretation. I feel like those stories are good because everybody can interpret it their own way.
Yeah, and this is kind of the way I'm going. I'm just slowly putting out clues of what the stories actually is throughout the comic and the pages. Just amplify, like, this is how it's gonna be, like, yeah. You can figure it out by now.
Maybe, I don't know, because there's that thing. You have absolute idea of what you are doing, how you are trying to do it, when you're doing what you are doing. You know everything, pretty much. We don't. We have no absolute idea of what's going on. And we, like, I don't know, because of the way you are presenting the story, we can simply start to assume it's a story like suddenly it's gonna get super Naruto-like, and people are gonna start doing crazy shit, jumping several stories high and do all sorts of crazy shenanigans. Or it can turn into something like Bleach, or what was that other anime? I think Yu Yu Hakusho, where it's like, it's actually this guy who dies and then he goes to solve crimes in his undead life or something. So we have no idea where this story is going. So that's why leaving things too open to interpretation is good, but sometimes it's a pitfall, so it's hard to do right.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for it to work out, you know. That's how I know, like, I don't know how other people see it, because it's hard to see like from the other person's perspective that doesn't know what's going on.
Oh yeah. I think I used to do a while ago was whenever, well, I have some friends over on Telegram that whenever I think up a new sort of story and whatnot, I go and bounce off ideas with them, like, hey, what about this, what about that, and then I suggest those stories, ideas for them, because I know there are people who like watch a lot of animes, TV shows and series, so they are more well known into,
Like, yeah.
they know what's going on in the media, so they have a mind of, this would work out, or this would not work out at all, because nowadays people are more like, it's about this or that. So it's nice to bounce off your ideas with some friends of yours who are more into, who are seeing a lot of stories, so they know what's going on around and how people and other people would react to it. And then you should see, I'm thinking up of these stories, so you don't even try to hide anything. You just go and say the entire thing, like leave no secrets for them. Just tell the entire story. It's gonna be like this, and that, and it's gonna be this, and the plot twist is gonna be that. See how they think. What did they think of it? Like, okay, I think it's good. No, I don't think it's good. And you're pretty much spoiling the fun for them, but they are helping you make something better for a whole lot of other people.
Yeah, it's like a good sacrifice. It's like people testing the beta.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the people who are doing that, they're not experiencing the final product, and only that, they're experiencing the whole creative process. So they know how shitty this thing was, what the original direction was. They know the flaws. They know they were there at one point, and they know like, this wasn't this good before, so they already have sort of a tainted vision of the entire project, but they are helping the project become better for people who never experienced it before. So whenever you have new ideas, always look out for your friends who you can bounce ideas off from, because they're definitely going to be helpful with that. And I don't know. You tell them, it's gonna be like this, and what do you think of this plot twist? Do you think it's gonna be hard for people to understand what I truly mean to say with this, like that Obama is an alien? Do you think they will get that point across, and see how they respond to it?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Of course, though, it's kind of hard for newcomer artists and people to have those kind of people who are super willing to read like a 20 pages excerpt of, this is the story I'm thinking of doing. And then people are like, oh no, okay, I'll read it someday. So not everybody has that kind of people in their lives. But if you do, make use of those people.
Yeah, but I think just like telling the story is kind of good enough.
Oh yeah, just by telling the story, there's another advantage to that as well, and that is when you're telling the story out loud to someone else, like, so there's this story where there's this girl in a farm with her family, and then suddenly something comes up, and it's all about Obama being an alien, pretty much. And when you're speaking something out loud to someone else, if it's a stupid idea, that's when you realize, like, oh no, this is a stupid idea. Why ever did I think this was cool? Because when you're thinking stuff in your mind, for some reason, your mind kind of tries to fool you into thinking that's the best idea ever. But when you speak that up loud to other people, you're like, no, this wasn't cool at all. Why did I think that to begin with? So sometimes you don't even need the other person's input. You already can see for yourself, no, this is not nice. But in general, talking to other people about your ideas and stories always helps. So always do that. So you said your story is gonna be 15-ish pages long?
I think so. Like could be more.
You could be more as in you don't know if you're gonna be able to tell the story you wanna in 15 pages, or as in you haven't wrote the entire story yet, so you're kind of making it up as you go.
Yeah, I'm not making it up as I go. It's like I'm telling this story, but I'm kind of like adding stuff in, or just cutting off parts. I'm like every day like brainstorming it and stuff.
Yeah, so if, for example, something happens and you decide, oh no, this is actually a very good thing, I wanna add that to the story, you're gonna make it slightly longer to be able to tell that.
Yeah, like add things that can be useful. Like, oh, let me add this, let me add that before I do it.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to have your stories be flexible and allow space for new things to come in or to go out. And then again, you have also the advantage or disadvantage, who knows, that you're updating your comic in a very slow pace, like 1 page a month, pretty much. And you have a lot of time to think in between pages.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be okay for the most part.
I mean, yeah, it pretty much has every potential to be. That reminds me, well, at least you're doing, from what I am seeing, you are being very good at following advice and looking up for references and whatnot. There's this other acquaintance of mine, this other Brazilian artist, who decided, I'm gonna do my own story. So he went on, told this gigantic story about this many characters, and nothing wrong with thinking up gigantic stories with many characters, but this guy is kind of inexperienced at telling those stories. And you can see there's a lot of Japanese manga and anime cliches in it.
Oh no.
He's trying to tell a story with those kinds of mannerisms into it, but he's not publishing it for a Japanese audience.
Thing,
Is what? What did you say, Kaze?
It's like a repeated story of like every anime ever.
Not really. It has very original things to it. The problem is like has those things like at the very first page you have these two characters who are gigantic friends and talk to another like, you baka, you're and well, they do stuff like that, but he does that like in the very first few pages. He doesn't introduces the characters. He doesn't introduces that the kind of relationship they have. More like open to interpretation that these characters know each other and are very, very good friends. And the way they act just feels weird because we've seen those characters for the first time, and when your first experience with these unknown characters in this unknown story is something that blatantly out there, it's kind of hard to take the story serious because he has a serious tone to the story, but the characters doesn't seem to be that serious themselves. So it's kind of, there's a contrast, a discrepancy there that kind of ruins the entire vision. But in any case, the biggest problem I have with his story is that he has this story that he's trying to tell to a non-Japanese audience, but he's doing the entire thing in a Japanese medium. So he's like doing it black and white manga style. He's doing it the whole thing like you read right to left.
Yeah.
And and since the guy actually knows some Japanese, he's writing the comic in Japanese and posting it on Fur Affinity, and the problem is nobody reads Japanese on Fur Affinity.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
So he's making a lot of issues and problems here and there, and I told him like, maybe you don't want to go through that path, but he has done everything in his power to ignore my every single advice and go his own way. And lo and behold, he did few pages and I never heard of it ever again. I guess he didn't get as many traction as he was expecting to have.
Did he like stop the story or something?
Yeah, I feel like he posted like 10 or 20 pages and then he stopped posting or working on the comic altogether. And I never heard of it ever again. I also didn't go out to look for it, but I feel like he stopped. And if he hasn't stopped, he hasn't like gained many new viewers. So it's pretty much in a kind of a stagnant place. At least you're avoiding that. You're doing a lot of research. You're looking up things. You're trying to
improve.
Yeah, trying to improve. I mean, facing the fact that the way you're doing things is not the right way, and that you're actually there's a lot of room for improvement. It hurts because there's a forced change going on with your life and with yourself, and changing is hard, especially when you're used to doing things a certain way. But at least you're making yourself open to these changes.
Yeah, it's more like exciting of how many things I can change and how much I can add.
Yeah, so at least you have a very positive mindset about this, which is good.
One thing that I really forgot about in the page that I posted, the last page, is I wanted to add some sound effects.
Yeah.
And I forgot to add the like kind of whoosh, or like when he slides down reaching for the glass, you know. I forgot to add the sounds. I had it in my mind, but I forgot to.
Yeah. The amount of things you're gonna forget when doing comics is ludicrously high. You're gonna see it. It actually gets worse with time.
Have you ever forgotten something crucial?
Oh yeah. I mean, I never realized until somebody went back and corrected it myself on it. They were like, "Hey, you forgot this and that, or you did that very wrong." And I was like, "Oh shit, I did. I didn't even notice." But apparently, a lot of people didn't notice. So until this one specific person noticed and told me personally, maybe other people noticed, but they didn't say anything. So until this one person noticed, I never knew. Like, there was this Golden Week page, I don't even know which page, in chapter 5, where Scott has like, he has an extra finger. He has like 6 fingers in his hand.
What?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I drew another finger, and I never really noticed that. And and I was like, okay, the page is done. I posted it up, and it was up for like weeks, if not months, until a friend came and said, "Hey, why does this cut has another finger here?" And I looked back, I looked at it, and I said, "Holy shit, it totally does." Never noticed.
Wow.
So yeah, not only you do forget to put things, but you add extra things that should not be there. So, like I said, it's gonna get worse with time. Hence why not only bouncing ideas between friends, but also finished pages and projects is important. Whenever you finish a page, show it up to another friend, so they can look at it with fresh eyes and see if it's okay to be finalized and posted.
Yeah, I did that with Oni on the other page.
Oh yeah, that helps immensely, because after you've been working on a comic book page for like almost 20 hours, you're like, oh my god, I can't stand to see this page for another second. You're mentally exhausted of looking and being with that page, so you simply want it to be over. Someone who has never seen that before, they will have a fresh pair of eyes with which to examine your work, and they will say what you need to improve upon, what did you do wrong, what did you did good.
Yeah.
And that helps. There's a friend of mine who I always bounce my finished pages to, so they can check out for the spelling. Like, hey, does that sounds right? Are the grammar okay? Are the words okay? Does this sounds off in any way, or is it okay and good to go? And then he offers me some insight into that, like, oh no, it's okay, or maybe this or that expression would look better. I think last week I did that with everybody here on the stream. I talked a little bit about this dialogue section, and I was like, I'm still unsure what this true character should be saying. The thing Bradley said. And I asked everybody here for opinions on the dialogue on that page, and a lot of people here came back with awesome ideas. In fact, one of another person who was here on the streams too, he didn't find the idea in time before I posted the page, but after I posted the page, he came back with a much better quote than the one I had. And I kind of want to go back and change the page just to add his quote, because it's amazing.
What was it?
Okay, now I have to go back and find it. Just a second.
Oh, yes. Which page was it? I can go back and see it.
It isn't posted yet. It's last week's page.
Oh, okay.
The page where Bradley is like, thing is, if people will dislike you for being the way you are, it's not even worth having them in your life at all, so just be yourself and let the judges judge. What matters is that you're happy. That's what he says. That's what Bradley says in that thing. Actually, no, before he goes and says, yeah, you don't need to take it up the butt in public to let people know what you're into. That's Bradley's
Yeah, that's a Swagger quote.
Yeah, that's the way I went with for the final page. And Stu, he came back and he suggested that I went something like, you don't need to be out for everyone, but that doesn't mean you have to hide it. That's a good one. That's an awesome quote. That's amazing. And I didn't think it up. He thought it up. Unfortunately, after I had posted the page. But I kind of want to go back just to change it. Just to go and show like, hey, look at this amazing quote that somebody thought up.
Yeah.
So I would never have had that quote unless I specifically went out and asked people for insight and help. So it's making comics and whatnot is not all about hiding your ideas until it's perfect and then finally you can share it with the world. It's all about cooperating with other people until all of you collectively think up the best thing you can make. So yeah, do go out and ask for help. People will be more than glad to help you out with comic, with your projects and stuff.
Right.
But in any case, how are you all people out there in the chat doing? You quiet piperinos and pipettes. I mean, it's still 10 in the morning here for me, so it's pretty early, even for me.
It's 2 in the afternoon here.
2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Wow. It isn't as early then. You probably already had lunch or will be having lunch shortly?
I've already eaten breakfast. Just before the stream.
Huh. Well, that's a late breakfast then.
Yeah.
But yeah. In any case, that's the thing I notice here on the streams. The early mornings here are extremely slow. It only picks up after a while. And I don't know why or how it picks up, if it's actually because people are still sleeping and kind of doing their own thing, or if it picks up because somebody else stops the streaming or starts hosting my stream, or what happens. But it takes some time for Traction to start. So I decided, maybe I'll do the art in the early morning when there's fewer people here, and later in the afternoon, later in the morning, late morning, I'll be doing the game thing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So there's the possibility of having more people here with us, partaking in some lovely games. Have you ever played Jackbox Party Pack before?
I don't think so.
No. Do you know what it is about?
I know it's about like games and you can play with phone with friends and stuff.
Yeah, we pretty much got it. That's the gist of it. It's this party pack of games. Some weird sort of party games where you kind of like Cards Against Humanity. Have you ever played that one?
Oh yeah, a lot.
It's kind of like that one.
I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Forgot.
Well then, if and when you remember that, make sure to let me know what that was, or is, or will be.
I've kind of discovered like there are good times and bad times to like upload something for people to see. Like,
oh yeah, there totally and definitely is.
Yeah, because there are times where like people are mostly asleep, and depending on the server, like people are maybe American or British. The time I upload the page depends, because the amount of views depends on when you actually upload it for some reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who end up seeing something because it's on the main page of like for Affinity and other sites. They only end up seeing something because it's in the main page, or like it has been trending. Or somebody else saw it and favorited it, and this person's not even seeing the main page, they're checking out somebody else's page and they see it on the favorites, and they're like, what does that look like? Let me check that out. So yeah, the time you upload something definitely matters when you're still kind of small, because when you do get a little bit more followers and watchers and whatnot, those people will be favoriting your stuff, and it'll show up in their feeds and whatnot, and
Gradually increasing.
yeah, and eventually people will not see it from your page, but they will see it from their page, because it's kind of exponential. The more people you have seeing and favoriting your things, the more people they will reach in turn. So it's kind of exponential. But when you don't have that kind of action going on yet, the biggest, more important way for you to get views and that and whatnot is making sure you either have a very good thumbnail and making sure you upload it at a good time.
Yeah.
Fur Affinity has this thing that no matter what you end up uploading or seeing the main page, in a single minute, 60 seconds, it's gonna be buried beneath 100 other submissions that have been done in that time.
Yeah.
However,
It is with like how many people do at the same time.
oh yeah, it's extremely massive to think about it. But depending on the time you upload, it's not 100 submissions that will be ahead of it. It's gonna be like 20. So there are times when the rhythm is a little bit slower. It's also good to post because your submission stays in the front page for longer. but sometimes it's not as good because there's more people seeing the front page at any given time. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Yeah.
So there's no true hard science behind it. Another friend artist, they told me that they don't believe in the time of upload. They believe in the colors you use for your commission. I mean, not your commission, but whatever picture you finish. Because the way they do it, I think you have heard of them, Requiem Beats. These
I
artists.
don't think so.
They were talking to me about how he doesn't believe at the time you upload something, but he does believe that if, for example, you use more red and blue colors, it kind of influences the kind of people who will click the thumbnail. Like the color influences a lot of who ends up clicking up the thumbnail and checking up the commission and following through with your channel and the other things you have.
Yeah.
So there's no true hard science to that. It's, as much as we like to think to ourselves, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's truly random. It's extremely random. And Sam, your bark missed some minutes. What has everyone arrived? I don't know. I don't actually know. The chat seems to be very slow today. But then again, it's a Friday and everybody's kind of getting ready to cheer up for Croatia and French in the World Cup. So I guess everybody's doing some other stuff with their lives.
Yeah, speaking of football, like 4 days ago, when England won, there was just here in Colchester, they were like breaking stuff and doing some crazy shenanigans.
Do you mean when England won or when England lost?
When they won, before they lost, which is thankfully they lost.
Oh, so when they won, the Brits, they were going out and breaking shit all over the place.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were just drunk and crazy. It was dangerous for me to get outside.
Oh man. That sounds dangerous as shit.
Mostly danger because I look like I am a foreigner.
Oh yeah.
I am tan, so I'm gonna look out of place. I don't want some drunk guy being racist on me.
Oh yeah, it's even more dangerous for you, unfortunately. But I'm glad you know you're doing good, and I'm also happy that, well, not happy, but I'm glad that now that England is out of the World Cup, you're possibly not gonna be in danger anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, lay low now. Stop being prideful.
Oh yeah. I mean, not necessarily prideful, but like, don't go around destructing things and people's lives and other people's property. Just be chill up a little bit. And also, speaking of chill, our friend Knowles has joined us. Hello there, Knowles. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. And woof, Friday morning to you. We're doing some voice chats today through the Discord channel. The voice chat is currently exclusive to patrons and Twitch subwoofers, but you can always join in to hear what we're saying if you feel like the Discord audio quality is going to be better. And other than that, how are you doing today? Oh, good. You already answered. Pretty good. Just went to the doctors. How are you? Well, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm doing pretty good considering I have this never-ending cough. Will never leave me. And today I also have Kaze here with me, talking a little bit as well.
Hello.
Kaze, you're our guest for today. One of the good boys has finally joined us for that delicious talking action.
That delicious moist talking.
No, I wish it was moist. Cause I feel like a lot of the issues I have with my throat that makes me keep coughing is because it's not moist enough. Like, theoretically I should be drinking a ridiculous amount of water. But I guess I'm a bad boy because I don't drink as much water as I should. And I feel like that's what makes me cough so much. So yeah, it could be moister. Could be more moist.
I like the detail that Wallace has with his hat. Like the
The
corner that-
the little corner there that's kinda nicked.
really farmer feeling.
I don't know if I'm doing this on the right side though, because he kind of is flipping sides, so this here is on the right side and this one is on the left side, so I did do a flip here, so it's kind of wrong. I have to fix that.
I think it works fine because it's showing it's just good enough.
Okay, so here it's on the right side, here's on the right side. Maybe I have a bit damage on both sides, so I never make the mistake of having to decide which side is which.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love adding little details like this to the characters. Problem is keeping up with them. Sometimes I completely forget and fuck things up for continuity. It's like, didn't he used to have this on his hat before? It's like, whoops, I forgot. Guess he doesn't anymore. Nose said just had to get antidepressants. Samuel said that Kaze Boy is a great guest, but what is the current subject? Oh, subject. We were talking about the World Cup for a little while and how it's dangerous for Kaze Boy when the World Cup was going on, but now that England is not in the World Cup anymore, it's better for him. And also said there are some good throat sprays you could get. Yeah, theoretically I have strepsils here to some like little mints you suckle on for a while. They have some ibuprofen alongside fluorbuprofen. Yeah, I can also always just drink more water.
There is a spray that I used to. It was a candy spray. Basically like a raspberry with a strawberry flavor. You kind of spray it in your mouth.
Yeah, I do know them, but I don't have them here. I would have to go out and buy them, so outside of the going out to buy kind of things I have this little Strepsils mints here. They're not they're good, but since they're kind of big and take a while to finish, you kind of have a mouthful for a while. So it's more like, okay, let's take a break, and during this break, let's down a couple of these.
Yeah, it has like this feeling of satisfaction, just delicious with, yeah.
Yes, suddenly you are refreshed, and now you can talk like a normal person.
But the problem with it was, I was so innocent at the time, and it was like, if you took the brand logo, the plastic, off of it, it looks like a dildo.
Really?
It does look like a dildo. Because the size and how tall it is, and when I put it in my pocket, it just pokes out.
Oh no.
So you're just seeing something poking out, and there's a kid walking around with it, and this is just the look at the people that I received. Like, oh, what are these? Why are they looking at me like that? I just
Oh,
said,
little do they know. I can't wait to stick this in my mouth.
and they just look at you spraying.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you use medicine, whatever sort of medicine it is, when you use it in public, everybody looks at you like, wow, what sort of hard drugs are you doing? Like, no matter what it is, if it's headaches, pills, you take a couple in and people are like, wow, such a junkie, that guy. Yeah, people will look. Let them look. Let them wish they had this kind of medicine in their lives.
One thing that I like always wonder when I see people, like, what sort of disease does this guy has? Like, everybody got something that, like, some sort of bad thing, but it just differentiates on how bad it is.
So kind of, you kind of play a game of guess with yourself with what sickness does this man has in his life?
I have something pretty rare, but it's not really a problem at all. But it is in me.
Oh no.
And that is basically me needing to drink water all the time. And if I like spend kind of 6 hours without water and I go to the bathroom, it's gonna be painful for me to be pissing.
Oh no.
I don't know why, it's kind of weird. And I went to the doctor because before like all that happened, when I was like in elementary school, and he asked me, give me a piss sample. He gave me this kind of it's kind of
A plastic cup.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I just gotta fill this in. I went to the bathroom and I filled it. And you just see a guy walking out of the bathroom with piss in his hand.
Oh yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's never gonna be pleasant. And the thing is, the older you get, those things are only gonna get worse and worse. Eventually, it's not. They're not gonna be happy with just a piss. They're gonna have to take some fecal sample as well. And you're gonna be walking around with all sorts of things, and people are gonna be like, well then, what sort of problems does this guy have that he needs to take his shit to a doctor to examine it?
Yeah, but thankfully I don't have to take medicine. The only medicine I have to take is water, which is super great.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Drink lots of water.
it's kind of readily available in most places, so you have that going for you, which is good. And also, Noah also said that you're fine, you just do it to make your mom happy and try to kick bad habits. About the whole visit to the doctor. I don't know exactly how long you've been doing that, but I'm glad you are, in a way, because you know, sometimes it can get really, really bad when you have a problem and problem quote unquote, and you don't look up after it. It's kind of problematic. It can lead to bad things. But anyway, Sam, you said you recommend tea and porkazi. It's sad to be like that, but I hope you're healthy. I know said maybe one day they'll make it so you can mail your pee and poop in the mail. You actually can, actually. If you need to take a stool sample or a pee sample and send to doctors in faraway places, you can mail it, actually. Like, I don't know how it works, but I heard stories that you can. So, what a great world we're living currently.
Yeah, I think they can, because there are some YouTubers who receive mail. Some mails get shit, or
oh really? Wow.
Condoms and stuff. Yeah.
Well then, it is possible, but the people who are going through, I mean, you would imagine that people would not go through that kind of trouble to send things to people they don't like. It's like, okay, I have to take a shit, I have to pack it up, and I have to go to the mail, waiting online with that big pack in my hands until it's my time to be able to mail it in, fill some forms, pay money to get that mailed in. I'm not gonna do that for no reason. I want to have a very good, legitimate reason to go about doing that. I wouldn't think that people do that to YouTubers and whatnot just because. But anyway, also hello Sam. I mean, not Sam. I mean, yeah, theoretically, yeah, Leo, you are a Samuel as well. Oh, hello Leo Sam. Welcome to the stream. And Chandler as well. That Borg boy is a daddy, you said. He isn't a dad. He looks like a dad, but he's not a dad. And Leo, you said hello. Oh, hello, Leo. How is your day going so far? Hopefully, it's going good. And also, Chandler. Little do you know, today we have the voice chat on and enabled. And currently it's exclusive to them patrons and subwoofers, so you can join if you want.
Yay!
Look at that, Kaze boy is here with us now that he is on. Now that he's a fancy boy. All he needed to do was swindle some people around a little bit, more or less.
Tingle for a little sprinkle.
Leo, you said mail in lab testing is becoming bigger all the time. Oh, see, apparently it is a bigger thing, and people have developed enough logistics and technologies to be able to do that more accurately, more reliably. Leo, you said that your day is okay. Oh, that's good to know. I mean, at least you're having a nice, fine Friday before your weekend comes in. And Chandler, you said that voice chat is on. Oh, how spoopy! You have a meeting you have to go to in about half an hour, so unfortunately you can't join the voice chat right now. You cry every time. Oh, you poor Chandler boy. But it's alright. Like I said yesterday, I think this is a test. Nothing's confirmed yet. Nothing's for sure. Nothing's like set in stone. Maybe this will change, or maybe this will not change. Maybe this will get worse. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe it'll get different. I don't know. But we're testing stuff. We're experimenting boys. We're science boys, doing science in real time. Next time maybe you can partake in the scientific experiments we're doing here. So who knows? And Chandler said, I will always love you. Oh, Chandler. Channeling that deep Whitney Houston within you. And also hello Grizz, welcome to the chat. I mean, to the stream. Welcome to all our lives. How are you doing today, Grizz? By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but the voice chat is enabled on the Discord. Oh no, you can't join in. And Noah said, yeah, you gotta head out. True, unfortunately, your phone needs charging and Twitch uses up too much battery. Stops you from being able to charge. Well, Twitch on mobile phones is like... It's more or less of a thing that I'm kinda... It's like, I don't know why it exists. Twitch on the Twitch app on the mobile phone, because watching streams on the mobile is awful. I've tried doing it, and the chat keeps disconnecting, so half your messages don't get sent. Seeing the video is really bad. It's not a good time. It's not a good time at all. So people must be really desperate to see those delicious streams to be using the mobile app, or they have no other choice. So in a way, I kinda do feel sorry for you, Knowles, but I'm also happy that you're here. Thank you for doing the sacrifice, for being here today with the good boys and good girls. And Kazi.
Thank you.
Grizz, terrible, you're doing terrible. What happened, Grizz? Grizz, if you said how you felt right now, you'd sound like a fool and sound like an ass. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry to hear so, but after this stream is done, if you would like to talk, I can always show up and say hello, and then we can do a little talking, and then you can tell me what is going on if you would like that, if you want to vent. If not, then sure thing, do let me know what else I can do to help you with your day. Cause
Shit.
as long as you're having a good day, that's what matters. And those we don't have that issue, though you did have that issue with Spike's streams a while ago. Which issue? Not being able to send messages. Cause I always have that issue. Even when I'm on the computer. I have that issue every time. Grizz, you got written up at work. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. Getting written up at work. Does that means they are firing you? You got reported at work. I cussed out an employee last week, and the manager decided to talk with me after he got off shift. Oh no. Oh no, that sounds kinda bad, yeah. I hope that doesn't hinders you too much in work and everything else.
Yeah.
And in a way, I also hope that whoever it is that you cussed deserved it. Cause I mean, you're going through all this, so I hope whatever it was they did, they deserved it. And those not being able to connect to string chat and buffering. That the buffering I never had. I don't think. I mean, I had that on computer, not on the Twitch app on the phones, but the not being able to connect on chat, that's constant. That has happened many a times. And that sucks. It always does. And Grizz had you sign up your final write-up. I don't know what that means either.
Some people use art style as an excuse sometimes.
What?
I said some people use art style as an excuse because there's this one guy who posted an image with like a cute furry stuff, and it is really cute. Like, I told the guy, hey man, it's really cute, you got the skill, but you could use line smoother just to make the lines smoother and it just can look better. And someone replied to me and said, oh, it's just the art style. I think it fits the art style. Like, yeah, but it just can be better. They're like, no, I don't think so. You gotta respect art styles. Like, what? So they just kind of say that I'm rude or somewhat because I said that. So I replied back with like a 2D, like the drawing you make when you first start drawing, you know, 2D bad anatomy and stuff. And I wrote, this is art, this is my art style, I'll make an animation with this. just like mocking them or being sarcastic. The same guy replies, "It lacks proportion. You need to sketch first," and I don't know if he's being sarcastic or playing dumb.
I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's people. They like the first thing they do whenever someone starts talking, no matter what it is that they're saying. This person takes it seriously, and when they do, they don't revert from that serious state. So maybe whatever it is that anybody talked about, they took it serious, like they took it deep to heart, and now they can't bend back from this. I'm taking this totally seriously, like.
Yeah.
So they're not taking they're not taking it lightly. They're not like, it's a joke. He's a jokester. Everybody's playing around. Everything's fine. Maybe they took it too hard and they're like, no, I'm gonna defend it with teeth and claws.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Tiger, you say that chatting on phone happens a lot. To me, it happens here on the computer as well. It's happened twice now. So, I know stranger must be real lucky. But that's not the word I would use, but yeah. You must be one of a kind. And Tiger, you hear someone talking. Yes, it's me and Kaze. We're doing the voice chat thing again, that thing we used to do before, but we're doing that now. In the future of our past.
The future of our past.
Oh yeah.
What is yesterday, but today is yesterday.
It's my take. That's what it is. And Chandler, you gotta get ready for that meeting. See you soon, everybody. Sure thing, Chandler. And good luck with the meeting. Make sure you meet nice people. That's not what you're doing in the meeting, but try and do that. And Noel said, well, anything can be considered quote-unquote art. Which is true. There are people who are doing all sorts of crazy shenanigans and saying this is art, and people are saying no, that's not art. But who knows?
It can be improved to be more artsy or artsy.
I mean, theoretically, everything can be improved in some way. Actually, history of art is crazy because there were these people who began doing things like hyperrealism, like the people in Renaissance, they were doing those lovely, very accurate paintings, and then somebody, well, those were awesome paintings, and then people were like, that's fun and all, but maybe it's not about being good, like being able to draw perfect faces, like perfect replicas of real life. Maybe it's about doing things that defy that. So they started with things like cubism and pointillism and things that, like, literally abstract art. And then people are doing like, oh, this is art now. It's not about perfectly replicating the world. It's about expressing our emotions and shit. Until somebody invented the photographic cameras, and they were like, oh, now you can make you can take pictures of everything, so we don't need painters anymore. And then the painters were like, well, shit, maybe we can do better than real life. And then they began the Impressionism art movement, which was all about making paintings that were very lifelike, but even better than life. So like, they started doing very hyper-realistic paintings, but they also did hyper-realistic paintings, very large paintings, and made sure to make everything look good and make everything look real. So the studies for like perspective, anatomy, and all those things always kind of skyrocket when those new art movements show up. It's crazy, really. But the history of art is full of crazy things going on at all times because somebody said, nah, this is not art. And Tiger, you said Stickman Art and you said hi to Kaze.
Hello to you too.
And Nose said that you saw a video where someone puts a pair of glasses on the floor in an art museum made to look like it was on display, and all these art enthusiasts were observing these glasses that had no meaning at all but to be a joke. Oh yeah, I saw actually a news article that this guy forgot his backpack at a museum and people were confusing it for art. Like, oh, that backpack, so, ooh.
Yeah, sometimes they over-exaggerate on art.
What?
Sometimes people over-exaggerate on what they consider art.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's a whole lot of things going on with art, truly. Because there's a lot of art that ends up in museums, not because it's good, but because the people who made it had connections. Like, I wanna paint. I'm gonna paint whatever. I'm gonna sell it for thousands of dollars because that's a legitimate way of doing some money laundering. Because you can't truly put a price on art. You can say it's worth $10, but you can also say it's worth $10,000, and nobody can tell you that's not the real price of that. And the person who painted the painting, they just happen to be like connected to the people who are doing the money laundering in the first place, or they're like, I'm just really vocal about things, so I'm always shitting on people, so I'm on the social medias very often, so I generate buzz, even though it's the haters hating. I do generate buzz nonetheless, so that gets people to go to the museum or the place where this person is exposing their art, just because everybody hates this person so very much, and in a way that generates income and whatnot. It's like, oh, okay, now people are interested in seeing this museum just because there's this artist everybody hates. But no matter what do they think about the artist, thing is, they are seeing the museum. It is being exposed at. So there's a whole lot of shenanigans going on with art. It's not about art anymore. It's about, well, strategies to get people to go to museums and pay money to see those weird things.
Yeah. Some paintings are like just colors just thrown at the painting, and that's it. And they're worth millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, they're not hard to say, but they're not worth that much, quote unquote. But some paintings, they do have something going on for them, like those colored blocks in a white canvas. Sometimes there's reason for that, but a lot of times there's no reason at all. It's just people being like facetious and say, "Ha, look, I can't appreciate this art. That means I'm smarter than you, haha." Take that, you plebs who can't appreciate colored blue squares in a white canvas. You don't know what art is. In short, people are stupid. More often than not. Leo, you said that your new FB, I guess Facebook, status, quote, being under legal restrictions against talking to your extended family members without risking being put into jail bites. Even more so if they try to talk with you as if they might not know that you legally can't answer them currently. So if you think that this applies to you, though, take note, legally it can't. I hope that everyone in the world is well and talking with all their friends and family without these legal difficulties. Aw, I'm sorry to hear so, Leo. But it's a nice thought to put out there. Like, it's a good reminder that there are people who are in a situation like yours, and law is complicated and weird sometimes. Bureaucracy kind of ruins things in a way. It makes sure that no matter what goes on, there is a record of it, but it also makes certain things kind of kind of ridiculous. Like how you can't talk to family members, how you can't do all sorts of things. It sucks. But hang on in there, Leo. Everything's gonna be better-ish, I hope. Zach, you gotta go now. Now that you got a bandage on your oil splatters, your prof may take it other than you. I'm starting to think that maybe your teacher is kind of like maybe a little bit sadistic. So take care, Zach, and I'll be seeing you later. Stay awesome, dude. And Nose said, yeah, you hate seeing all those cloth designers make ridiculously looking clothing and sell them for a lot of money just because it's made under their name. And people buy it because wearing expensive looking clothing makes you look good, apparently. Yeah, that's a ridiculous concept that for some reason kinda only gets expanded because of how ridiculous it is. It's kind of everybody's on a big inside joke that nobody realizes. And that's one of the reasons why I want to believe that the... what's it called again? Flat Earth Society. They don't actually believe that the Earth is flat. I desperately want to believe that those people know that the world is round, but they keep insisting that the world is flat, just so they can, so they make scientists so fucking angry that they go and create and they fasten up the processes for creating space travel just so they can take these people to space, to show them, look, Earth is fucking round. and then they will be like, well, we knew all along, we just wanted to make sure that people were focusing their efforts on getting humanity to space. However, that's what I want to believe, that they actually know that, and they actually know that the world is round. They just want to advance progress with space travels. But there are people who are actually genuinely believing in flat Earth. And then the flat earthers, they're like the original flat earthers, they're getting like, oh shit, we went too far. Because I feel like that's a better narrative than simply having a bunch of people who truly believe that the world is round and, I mean, flat. Because that's just plain ridiculous.
And some of them say, like, if the Earth was round, why aren't our feet bent? Like, why are they, like, curved?
Are people seriously using that argument?
Yeah.
Oh my dog, people are extremely stupid, in a way.
But it's kind of sad, because they just need something to fill their time. Most of them are like old people or such.
I mean, it's like people are willfully trying to ignore every scientific theory that proves that the Earth is round. And I don't blame them for like believing the Earth is flat and shit. But I'm genuinely angry at people who have the ability to go make change, like influence a large amount of people and tell them like, hey, believe in me when I say that the world is round, and they are not doing that. There are actually people going out there using their fame to spread word that the like misinformation. Like, they are famous people saying, hey, the Earth is flat. Well, don't be that. If you have power to influence people, don't influence them to do dumb things. That's what pisses me the most. People who have the power to make that kind of stuff and they're using their power wrong. Did nobody see the first Spider-Man? Uncle Ben, he's dying and they're saying with great power comes great responsibility, and people are not being responsible. But anyway, Nose who said there's already evidence besides the evidence shown from space. Oh, there's a lot of evidence. And Leo says, peasant, please. I never forget that bananas open nice and easy, much like a soda can. What? What do you mean, Leo? And Knowles, you said like the world's tallest tower. It said that if you watch the sunset on the ground, you could go up to the top of the tower and watch the sunset again. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's extremely awesome.
Oh man, I missed the sunset. Let me go up there.
Né? Also, Greece, you said, I guess you can hear me. For some reason you were silenced. Try talking now, maybe we can hear you.
I guess, what about Christopher Columbus and Magellan?
Come again?
Christopher Columbus and Magellan.
I didn't hear the second part, I just heard Christopher Columbus and Magellan. I don't know what you said.
Well, I mean, Magellan's whole voyage around the world before... Well, I mean, he never really finished, but someone else finished it for him. So, still being saying, he went around the world, and that voyage is particularly one reason why the world is for a fact considered round. Because if it was flat, he would have fallen off the edge of the earth the moment he hit the halfway point around the equator.
Oh yeah. Not only that, but there's actually like way back in like before Christ, like when the Greek, I think Greek philosophers and physicists and those genius people from ancient Greece, when they were doing their shenanigans, they found out that Earth is round because they used to study the stars and shit, and they realized that if you were in two different places, the stars were positioned differently. But I have no earthly idea how they were doing calculations back in ancient times. But they did the calculations to find like the placement, rotation, and whatnot of the stars, and they did find out that they moved, but they didn't just simply move, they moved in a circular manner. So they found out that Earth was round, and they found out like more than 2,000 years ago.
Well, they could have done like with the whole Roman numerals, the Chinese abacus, and I guess I'm not really sure if this counts as evidence for the world particularly being round. What about the use of a sundial? If the Earth was flat, I'm not really sure that. I'm pretty sure a sundial will probably still work the same, or maybe in another sense, it probably wouldn't work properly as it would if the Earth was considered round.
The way a sundial works, and the way some flat earther theorists, they say that the world moves. I mean, the sun moves and shit. According to that, sundials would still work, but the whole thing about flat earthers is that no matter what argument you use, they always have some sort of counter argument that they kind of made up on the fly that tries to explain why things are the way they are. They have some counter argument for everything. So, like I said, these people are going way out of their own way to try and explain why Earth is actually not round. So, it's not like they don't. Bless you. It's not like they don't know and they want, and all it takes is someone show up with the actual explanation. They'll be like, "Oh, I guess I was wrong." The thing is, they want to believe that, and they will go way out of their way to make sure they can explain why they want to be that way. So it's a thing of people wanting to believe that, like really hard, and that's yeah. they